I always do this. This is the BroadsCast. And I'm Amy Walsh. Shireen Ahmed is here. So is Signa Butler. And today we're joined by a parent fangirl of the BroadsCast. The one, the only Liv Scott from Ottawa Rapid FC. Is it okay to call you Liv? Can I just call you Liv? Because that's what it says under your video. Or do you Olivia and then we can seg to Liv? How does it work?
Well, if your mom, my mom's like the only one who calls me Olivia, so you could call me that if you'd like. But I think I always go Liv Scott because there's always another Olivia on my team. I think this is the time I haven't had another Olivia, but there is another Scott. So Liv, Scott, Liv, whatever you guys like.
I think on the call I have by mistakenly or by mistake called you Liv Smith. Because of like the coverage of the women's national team. So does that happen to you? And have you and Desi been mixed up?
So Liv Smith and I crossed over a little bit in our Rex program. So there was a Liv Scott, me, a Liv Smith, and then an Aaliyah Scott. So they didn't know what to call me because I didn't have a unique name in there. And then with Desi, I get all her photos. We have like a generated photo thing. I get all of hers in there because they just send all the Scots the same photos, and then we'll be on the same like Air Canada tickets and plane tickets. So it's like she's my mother. I'm like I always have to we have the same ticket code. So like little mix-ups, but I don't think anyone's messed it up calling the games or anything.
Okay. Oh no, but I've definitely on the call. Yes, and I quickly recovered. But like it just rolled off the tongue because I think we were coming out of the international break and I'd done the women's national team and I definitely called you Liv Smith and then I was like Scott. And I love your goal. What's that?
Yes. Liv Scott. Like I have to do like both names.
It's a mouthful. I don't have a unique name, so it's tough for you guys.
I was talking about you and I went the opposite way. I did rugby. I did Liv Apps. I'm like, Liv Apps. And then I was like, no, not because I called her you. I said Liv Scott. And then people are like, no, you're crossing sports again, Shireen. I'll blame it on my physical state of perimenopause and my brain buffering, but I knew what I was saying in my head. It's not my fault. Not everybody understood what was in my head.
Right? I wish I had a cool nickname for you guys, though. I think the only one I had, which is boring, is people would call me O Scott because that was the only difference we could differentiate from everyone with the same name. So
O Scott's cool though.
Yeah.
Like
it is. And as a like Sigs, you as a play-by-play person and me as an analyst and you too, Shireen, like we could work with that. Like it would usually be good. I think be like, oh, Scott. And then the conversely could be like, oh, like your red card, you're renowned now, first ever red card in NSL history. Then that was, oh, Scott.
Yeah, you can change the tone. You can change the tone.
Oh, exactly. Scott, comma, oh, Scott.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then change it variable with punctuation as well.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, we could have like clearly this could be like an hour BroadsCast. We only have you for 20. I don't want to suck all the time out of it, but obviously Sigs and Shireen will have questions too. But I want to just start off like, how did your relationship and your first pro contract? Because you were coming out of League One before you signed pro with the Ottawa Rapid. So how was that seed planted? Did you know Christina Kiss? Did you have a relationship to Katrina Peterson? Like, how did you get put in touch with the Ottawa Rapid FC?
That's a really good question. I was over at school in Connecticut, Quinnipiac University, and we got a fifth year because of COVID. So I took my fifth year, and then after I took my spring as well. Two of my roommates went off to Portugal. Three of us got offered a contract and I needed to graduate with my master's. So I had to stay in the spring, which was a tough decision, but I stayed throughout the spring, wanted to play after, knew I wanted to play after, didn't know where and didn't care. So I was in touch with my agent. I'm like, just throw things out, Portugal, Denmark. Like I know I want to play professionally. While he was doing that, I actually stayed in Connecticut over the summer and I was playing on a U23 summer team because my teammates, they all played there. And I was like, oh, this is a fun way to stay fit, stay with my teammates. Came back home around August and it was too late for me to sign with a League One team. So thankfully the Rovers let me train with them a little bit. So I was training with them. And then I believe it was beginning of fall, I got in contact, my agent and Christina, and we got on a call, and they had this big presentation on what the club was about and everything they envisioned for it, and like female leadership there, and everything she was saying, I was just, this is so welcoming. And they actually had a few of us down in Ottawa just to like look around and stuff like that. And it was kind of a no-brainer for me. So when I said at first that, you know, I don't care where I play, like I just want to play professionally. But when I heard what Ottawa was offering up, I was like, this is way more than I could have ever expected for someone who I would have gone and played professionally for $0. So this league coming about for the great minimum salary, the great, like everything they're offering was way above my expectations. So that's kind of how I fell into this.
We talk a lot about like team culture and the way, you know, everybody's building this team culture from scratch, but that was something that really resonated with me when I spoke to Susanna Holland and Christina and a few other people before the season. Like, how did you, and you're regarded as one of the young leaders on the team. Like, how did you kind of like, how did that behind the scenes, like melding the culture happen? And I'm sure it's still happening right now.
Yeah, ever since February, it's been such an emphasis on like getting along off the field and building relationships off the field. We went away to a cabin in the middle of the woods, quite frankly, in the freezing cold as a team. And some girls like not used to the cold as well. We had like Julissa Harris coming from Houston and going, no, she only brought like a pair of UGG slippers, and she's so it was that really bonded us. We started doing like big debates on like our words we want to like live by and show culturally every day. And it was like an hours of a process of debating in this cabin at that table and just honing in on very specific things. I think that's a big thing here is we're very specific and very picky, which I like. And also this group loves to joke and loves to banter, which I love. And then on the field, it's like a switch. So I can honestly say I think this team gets along the most out of any team I've been on, and everyone's so like wise and helpful, and there's a variety of everyone's kind of from everywhere and a wealth of information. It's a really, really great group and great culturally. So
as just to scaffold off something Signa said, you're regarded as one of the leaders. You're also somebody who has an MBA, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And having that level of knowledge and that business acumen, have you been able to put any of that to words, or is that something for another time? Because this is also a league that's growing. Like, do you ever call up the league and go, yes, in my experience and my expertise, I can offer this insight? Because part of what the conversations I've been having with Dee and everybody across the league is that people are putting forth their opinions, and this is a league created by players for players. So are you being able to offer some of your own expertise?
I love that question because, yeah, I don't think many people know that a lot of us have gotten our education and we have our MBA. And for me, my priority coming in, this is my first year playing professionally, it was I need to like just focus on soccer, and I don't really know what it's like to be in a professional environment. So I was like, I'm going to just like hone in on soccer and think about that for now. But Desi has done a very good job on our team of like getting everyone's opinions on things and then kind of filtering it through to the higher ups. But that's definitely something I've thought about is like, oh, can I even have a role at this club, like doing something in the background as well? But I figured my first year I wanted to focus on soccer a little more, but that did cross my mind. So that was a really good question.
I love that though, because as women athletes, so whether you're my generation and Signa and Shireen's generation, like ages ago when we played, or now when you have the opportunity to play domestically in Canada in the inaugural year of a professional league that is doing it right. You already alluded to the fact that one of two leagues worldwide that has a minimum salary. As women athletes, though, we've always had to have a contingency plan. So like you have obviously done the work off the pitch. You're in good stead for whatever is coming next. But if you had to kind of leech and by osmosis, glean all kinds of knowledge from somebody who has their MBA or their PhD in being a professional footballer, you've already mentioned Desi Scott. Like, who else on the Ottawa Rapid are you? Just hanging out with, or like just standing next to at training and just trying to soak up all of their professional soccer expertise?
Oh, that's such a hard question because we have a lot of players with a lot of experience, but off like right away, if I'm not picking Desi, because she might be the obvious answer, it's definitely JY, Jaleesa Harris. She is just like so picky and so smart with the game, especially when I'm playing beside her in that center back position. Coming from the NWSL, she's like got these very, very high standards and very smart, always like pushing me as a player, especially too. So I really do lean on her. Like any questions, send her a clip, like what do we go here? And it'll be the smallest thing. Like you literally need to go 2 steps right when we're defending in the box. So we're really, really picky as a back line there. And it comes a lot through her. So I definitely am like a sponge through her.
What's it like? You're in your first year of this professional season. I know like a lot of things are like the NCAA in terms of training and games, etc. But this is a longer grind. Like, how are you keeping yourself like healthy? How are you keeping like mentally and physically? Actually, like it's just a long season.
Yeah, definitely a big jump. I think I've played like, I don't know, 15 games as an NCAA season, and this is around 25. And I think halfway now, a lot of girls, including myself, are starting to feel a little more fatigue. It's funny because my mom will come visit quite a bit, and she'll be like, "Okay, let's go on a walk and let's go do this." And I'm like, "I'm not going on a walk. Mom, I'm going on a walk with you right now." But it's a lot of training and treatment and staying like it feels like a bit of a 9 to 5 in the best way though, because you're getting there early. And I headed out a little early today so I could come on with you guys. But a lot of treatment and staying later and film, and I think after training to stay like have a social life is a lot of us live in the same building and area around here, so I can just walk down the hall to Ellen's door and say hello and hang out with her. So it's nice that we have like a group in the same area outside of soccer.
I agree with you on the walking, even though I'm not a professional soccer player. Solidarity with you and not walking. I don't like walking. What I was going to ask was, although you have played, and have a storied NCAA career, the travel part of this is big. Canada's a big country. And even with NCAA locally in the Northeast, there's like a bunch of universities, so you don't have to fly for 5.5 hours. I think you were there when I was in the airport last week, and I ran into you guys. We're all getting coffee, and you were headed out to Vancouver. I saw you all traveling out, and
did you say hi, Shireen? Or did you just keep on them?
I think I went up to Desi and was like, "Oh my God, are you Desi Scott?" And she gave me a hug. And she's like, "We're going that way. Are you coming?" I'm like, "No, I'm here for right." And I actually in the moment couldn't remember while I was there. I was like, "What am I here for?" Rugby. Yes, rugby. But that's got to be an adjustment as well, like traveling across the country for multiple games, coast to coast. While that is amazing, how do you actually very specifically deal with that jet lag and deal with having to perform really fast? Because there's not a lot of turnover.
Yeah, I think if you ask anyone on the team, they'll be like, "Yeah, Liv hates to travel." Just because of the jet lag and the like being in the airport, and like I want to be hydrated, but I don't have to get up to pee 100 times on the plane, and it's like the little things. But specifically how to deal with it, we had a plan going to Vancouver because we headed out a day before when normally we would do 2, and it was very specific of like the time window of when to go to bed. It was like either between 8 and 9 Vancouver time or 9 and 10, and a specific time to wake up for us to be like optimal. So they're kind of like, "We know you're going to be tired, but like you got to wait to go to bed at this time, and you should be waking up at this time." And then electrolytes all through the plane, your compression leggings. I'm sure you guys are familiar with all those. And
just in our old age.
No, I didn't mean that because
depends. Compression leggings.
You know what? You are not off the mark. Oh, Scott. Oh, Scott.
Oh, Scott.
Oh, Scott.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know what an electrolyte is, but I'm kidding. But yeah, it's just trying to do your best to get on track with the sleeping. It's no naps and stay on track with that.
Are you a napper? Because when I played, I was never a napper, and I was big into the reading, into the crosswords, and grab a paper and just kind of hang out and not disturb my roommate. But I could never do the naps during the day, especially on a game day.
I used to be, but ever since being here, I've stopped it because I can't. I get too groggy after, and it doesn't work. So I start doing like the Wordle, the mini, and all that stuff too. So that's funny you say that.
Now, does anyone ever do the pen to paper actual crosswords, or it's all as part of apps and iPads and phones now, right?
We have one, Emily Amano. She does like Sudoku.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's a pen to paper girl.
Yeah, I still am. Can we do a thing? Dan Wong on our regular podcast, he does a get to know me on Footy Prime. So can I ask you a couple of rapid fire questions before I let you go?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Okay. All right. The first one, you need to gain weight quickly for a movie role. What is your go-to junk food to reach your goal and put on the weight?
Pizza.
What toppings? What kind?
Pretty simple, like pepperoni and cheese, but I'm not picky, so whatever's in front of me, I would kind of eat.
Amazing. Okay, if you're not listening to of the moment or popular tunes, like right now, that's what the kids say, right? What decade of music is in your headphones or your earbuds?
Oh my gosh, probably like 2000s music, and I never even sway from that. Like I'm always just kind of listening to the same songs, just at different times of my life. So I need to expand my music, actually. You've reminded me.
And who's the team DJ?
Molly Erickson, or we get JY on there sometimes, but mostly Molly, yeah.
Okay. If you weren't playing soccer professionally, what sport would you be playing?
Oh, probably hockey. Probably hockey.
Did you play when you were growing up?
Yeah, I grew up playing hockey, and then there was a point where it's like, oh, you kind of got to pick between hockey and soccer, and I was more dedicated to soccer, so I went along.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What was your favorite soccer club growing up, like professionally, that you followed, and why?
Oh, this is maybe a little off, but my favorite was the Canadian women's national team. That's who I watched when I was younger, like specifically, and I didn't get into watching like more club soccer until college. So
okay. You get to meet your sports hero. Who was it, or who is it, and why?
Oh, I met her. It was Desi.
Which I knew already, but I mean, it's so cool that I ask you the question and there's only Desi. Like, how incredible is it that you get to play with her?
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't think that would ever happen. I actually grew up wearing a headband because of her, and when I just retired it after college, because when I found out she was playing here, I was like, I can't wear my headband anymore. Like, that's her thing. So yeah, it is really cool.
But you got it in the goal celebration, though.
Yeah, we manifested it before. We're like, hey, like if one of us score, we got to do the headband. And she's like, yeah, and it happened. So it was really cool.
And we've heard by way of, I think, DB, either pregame interviews or other sound bites, that Desi's the one who's really pushing for the original goal celebrations, right?
Oh, she loves them. At the beginning of the year, DB was scoring, and she's like, why aren't you doing, like, come on, you got to do a celebration. So she's pushed us on it a lot, yeah.
I love that. And I guess now, since you and Desi get like the photo dumps mixed up, that one was you and Desi. So that's going to both your inboxes anyway, right?
So that one worked out perfectly. They actually had to search for the photo a little bit. It was not taken by like one of our photographers. So they were cross-referencing photographers and finding them in like the film of the game. And yeah, so it took a lot to find that actually, which is cool.
Okay, 2 more questions for you. You have a week off. Where do you go? Like, where are you vacationing?
Oh, that's a great question. A week off? Maybe down to Mexico somewhere on the beach, relax. Yeah, I'd like that.
So the opposite of the cabin experience with the Ottawa Rapid.
Quite. Yeah.
Okay, last one. Yeah. Best of Canadian food. A, B, C, or D? A, shawarma. Okay. B, poutine. C, butter chicken roti. Or D, a meatball sub?
I'll go poutine. For sure.
Very much. I love it.
Especially in Ottawa, so it's good here.
Very cool. That was it. Dan Wong from the other podcast, the OG Footy Primer, will be very happy and very pleased with Get to Know Me on Footy Prime with the one, the only, Liv Scott.
Love it.
Did you guys, Sigs and Shireen, have anything else for Liv?
I have
we
a
let
very
go?
important question.
Okay.
Who is the best dressed manager in the NSL?
Oh,
It's got to be Kat. He's always
That was like the throw the softballs question.
That was an easy one. Yeah, she dresses nice though. I'm always like, wow, you look great today. Yeah.
Yeah, she's always on point. We always say that. And it was one of those questions, we talked about this earlier in the broadcast, that is it a question that we would ask a male manager and a female manager? And yes, it is. So that's my favorite question.
Awesome.
Also, I have an issue with shin guards and players who doesn't look like they're wearing shin guards. You are a normal shin guard wearer, it looks like.
Yes.
Who has shin guard fouls on your team?
Oh, love that question. Shin guard fouls. So that's a tough question to answer because at practice we have to wear our shin guards, but all of us have bought the mini ones for practice. So all of us are like shin guard fouls because we don't want the tan line of the socks.
He's so vain.
Yeah, so a lot of us are doing that during practice, except for like DB's got hers all the way up normal. Holland's got hers up. But in the game, I think it's Joey Friedland. I think she wears hers really low. And Kayla Adamek.
I think Kayla's are pretty low.
I think hers are pretty low too. I don't do that during the game, but in training I will. But those two, I off the top of my head, where there's low.
Yeah. I should, everybody's got their own style. I shouldn't, but you know,
No,
I'm old school. I'm like, I don't want any welts on my shin. I got enough.
And the shin guards these days are like this big too. I don't understand.
Like little baby ones.
I remember ours were like ankle to knee back in the day. They were like your entire femur.
Tibia.
Tibia. Claire's not on today. Dr. Rustad's not here. So
that's right.
I have a question that I am always interested in.
Sure.
Are you sweet or savory? Do I give you a bag of chips or a bag of Twizzlers?
Oh, give
Great
me
question.
a bag of Twizzlers for sure. I could go without chips, but my demise is dessert for sure. So
that's your Achilles heel.
It is.
Have you been able to like get around Ottawa? Because there's a good little food scene in that area. Have you been able to find some dessert houses or places?
Yeah, so since I'd say like May, I've been able to walk around a little more because the winter was treacherous here. So I wasn't exploring a whole lot. But yeah, it's great around here. The Byward Market's got a lot of food. We're kind of in the glebe, a lot of us. So there's tons of like coffee shops and food places. And I'm like, wow, Ottawa is like very lively and there's a lot of stuff going on. So I've been really enjoying it a lot more, I think, than I was midwinter. But yeah, it's great down here.
And what did you call it, Liv? The glebe?
The glebe, yeah. It's like
I don't know the glebe.
Around TD Place is known as the glebe. So now I'll give you a fun fact for today.
Very nice. And if you ever have any questions or like want recommendations on great bars, I know we're not meant to say that because you're a high performing athlete, but like the food scene is Nate Ingham of Atleti Ottawa.
Yes.
Yeah, I refer to him as Nate the Great. He was actually on our main podcast this morning. Great guy. If you had any questions about the food scene or recommendations for restaurants, he is your guy.
That is good. That is good to know. He's familiar with a lot around here, I gather.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been there for a long time. But actually on that, I think Shireen had one last question for you, then we'll let you go. Has there been a lot of crossover with Atletico Ottawa and the Ottawa Rapid?
Not a whole lot. We have our own facility and then we kind of train over at TD Place, whether it's 2 days before the match or the day before as well. And we'll kind of cross over a little bit with them there. But they always supply tickets to their games, which is very nice. But yeah, not a whole lot of crossover. I wonder if we'll have a little more, or we'll say hello in passing, but don't know too well. But we like to get out to the games when we can.
Yeah, awesome. Did you have another question for Liv?
My question was, I was going to say just before we let you go, I know like down that area, like that TD Place, like you've got PWHL, you've got the Red Blacks, you've got Atletico Ottawa, you've got you guys, like it's a bit of a vibe in the city down there. And maybe this is my plug for people who have not gone out to go see an NSL game. Go out and see it. But like, what's been sort of the vibe? I know you're concentrating on your match, but what's been sort of the atmosphere down there?
Yeah, I know I'm a little biased because I'm playing in Ottawa, but I genuinely think our stadium is in the best place for fans to come and watch. There's so many restaurants, dessert places, bars in that area that you can go to before the game, and then you literally walk less than 100 meters. The stadium's right there, and then you can go right after too. So we have been getting more and more fans and a good bunch, and they're starting to do chants now, and I was like, wow, this happened really quick. They're singing. I heard them singing like something from High School Musical, like breaking. Like, how did they coordinate that last game? So the fans have been great, and I think it's such a great atmosphere there. So we love playing at home, and it's so much to do around there as a fan. Like, I think that's why my parents keep coming, because it's like, oh, there's so much to do when we come and watch. So it is really great. People should definitely come out, especially in Ottawa, if not everywhere else too.
Yeah, great markets, I think, with the 6 franchises so far in NSL, with their own unique fan bases and traveling fans even starting now. But it was great to have you on, Liv. You're welcome anytime to hop back on with us.
I appreciate you guys. I'll watch this later this week too. I'll be watching.
Amazing. Well, love
to ask you about your upcoming matches, but obviously, obviously you have a busy schedule coming up, so we'll let you focus on that.
Yeah, yes. Battle of Ontario, right?
Yeah.
The Sens and the Leafs. We've got the Rapid versus AFC Toronto.
Yeah, got a lot of former teammates and stuff from that team, so it's always a good match.
And this weekend's a big one too. The 3 of us will be on the broadcast on Saturday. So that's actually,
it's the first CBC game.
First CBC game. So
okay, you can hit them with the Scott.
Challenge.
No. Hopefully it's Scott.
Yeah, hopefully it's that. Hopefully
set piece goal, okay? And I promise that's what I'm going to say.
Okay, deal.
Amazing.
All right, thank you guys seriously for having me on.
No problem. Thanks so much.
This is fantastic, and I wish you all the sweets.
I'm going to have a sweet right now after this. Thank you.
Thanks, Liv. Amazing. How great was that? So in an inaugural year, all kinds of firsts, Liv Scott was our first player interview on the BroadsCast. And I think there was nobody better suited to do that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that was great. I think you've opened the door now. There's going to be people knocking on the old door, the BroadsCast door.
Yep, I think so too. So shall we do a quick wrap up for anybody who missed? So that was Liv Scott of Ottawa Rapid FC. And then week 17, we usually will have a best 11, but this week is coming fast and furious with the midweek matchup and then the weekend match that we just talked about that Shireen brought up. That's going to be on CBC. And then I think another TSN match on the Sunday. But week 17 saw we saw Calgary beat Ottawa 1-0. And then we saw the Roses get dispatched 2-1 at home by AFC Toronto. And then a 0-0 draw between Vancouver and the Halifax Tides, which a couple of big misses there in that one. Late by Millie Clegg, who was a little bit snake bit of late, but they've our second Super Saturday in a row. Super Saturday in NSL. And I don't think that it disappointed, but it was a bit strange for me. It was my dad's 80th birthday. So happy birthday, Dad, Chris Walsh. And I was really, really happy to be at home, to be with my family and all the cousins together too, to help celebrate their granddad and obviously our dad. But it was weird to have 3 games happening back to back to back and to not be on the call and to not be involved. It was a little bit weird, almost like an out-of-body NSL experience. And you weren't on the call either.
I wasn't on the call either because my kids we had to pick them up from camp on Saturday, and we were supposed to go on a family vacation afterwards, but then my husband's work plans got in the way. So here I am. But so I missed the call. I was supposed to do the Ottawa Calgary game, but Nigel did that one.
Yeah.
Exciting game. That was an exciting game. That was we didn't talk to Liv about that, but Ottawa certainly had their fair share of chances. Yeah. So did Calgary. Calgary had a penalty kick save.
Dajna came up
big, and Steph Bukovic was really, really strong in goal. Like, some of her saves are so unconventional, and the way she throws off shooters, so unconventional, maybe like in terms of like, she really does come out there, and I say cat-like, she really does come out there like I'm going to pounce on you.
I thought you were going to
I saw
come
you
out with like a cat noise. I was really like,
as my name says. I agree with Signa, but I also find that Steph's like her creativity emerging and her impromptu, like I find that she's really good in the moment at split-second decisions on how to move and how to go.
Yes.
I think challenging, whether it's a one-on-one or whatnot, I feel like she has that element, that character, where she thrives in situations like this, because there's something about the way that she plays that I've noticed, like you said, she trusts herself to make those decisions, and that's what the difference is.
Yeah, it's absolutely the right mindset as a goalkeeper, because you want to have that unflappable personality behind you, and as the players in front of that person, you just have full confidence in them, and that can change the mindset of the team as a whole. But yeah, there were some big misses for the first time. I think DB Pridham hasn't been kept off the score sheet in back-to-back matches. And so obviously she scored in that 3-3 barn burner the week before, where actually I meant to ask Liv Scott about this too, if Kayla Adamek was as difficult to play against in practice as she is the opponent.
Oops.
After she bowled over Shannon Weller. But DB gets on the end of that shot to beat Tynan. And then a couple of opportunities for Pridham in that match. You mentioned Dajana saving Maggie Doherty-Howard, and then Jackie Savitsky,
one of the veterans in the league, getting her first goal. And the goal was a nice goal too. Just Grace Storty cross the pitch, and Jorian Bauckham, who's their new striker, headed it to the back, like the back post, and then Savitsky was right there. So it was So it was a nice goal. I was gonna say I enjoyed that game very much, and I watched I watched all three matches, but the Halifax Vancouver one, I know 0-0. Okay, sorry, back up.
Beep beep beep. Go ahead.
Kaylee Hunter's goal.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't mean to lean in here, but so there's been a lot of bangers this season.
Let's all lean in, because this is a lean in moment.
There's been a lot of bangers this season, but for a 17-year-old to have that gumption to just be like, okay, I'm going to just, I see Karpenko's off her line. I'm going to just nail this and nail it.
Like 45 yards away.
Yeah.
And the cheeky little chest down by Esther Okoronkwo, right?
Yeah.
Like they're a fabulous duo together, the two of them, like personality-wise, swagger-wise, the potency that they bring to that team on the attack.
There's like this, it's, I don't know what it is. It's not joy. It's more than that. It's like the two of them together. It's, you could see Kaylee, like I asked her this question on a call the other week about, what's it like having Esther back after her amazing performance at the African Cup of Nations? And she just lit up. She was just like, it's so great to have, her basically duo up front back. And yeah, you could just really see it. The two of them they created such a partnership up there.
Yep. And I think Sarah Strategakis, like immediately coming in to that midfield, Nikki Small being pushed outside, but has the ability to drift inside, play in that half space. And Victoria Pickett just gets pushed a little bit further up, but a really, really strong midfield there. And obviously you've just got that constant threat with that duo, that attacking tandem with Okoronkwo and Hunter.
And I think a little further, and I mentioned this on a BroadsCast episode a couple of weeks ago, that Emma Regan was saying that Toronto started kind of coming into their own stride. They're finding their stride now, and then moving people around and readjusting and tweaking. They're really coming, and I enjoy this Montreal-Toronto rivalry in a way. I find it fantastic, but just backing up a bit to Kaylee Hunter's goal, it's the way in which she absorbs the confidence. She's 17. When we say that, but she plays with someone with a maturity and with a game experience that you're kind of like, how is this person 17? But enough sort of youthful energy to take risks in her attack, which is also really exciting. Like, but there's this wherewithal that sometimes, younger players may not have because they're not as seasoned, which makes sense. The more seasoned players, the vets sort of have this level, but I kind of find like she's blown through that. And it's really interesting and really fascinating as a player subject to be like, yeah, this shot is pretty, it's pretty fantastic. Like you have to have a sort of mindset and comfort with yourself to be able to do that. And the fact that she's there at 17 is pretty incredible to me.
Yeah, to fully trust yourself to make the right decision. And to me, there's never any second guessing.
That's exactly. She doesn't hesitate. There's no hesitation. And I find that like absolutely formidable to watch. I find it fascinating as the growth, because we like to talk about growth of players as well and like kind of track where they're going, what their journey's been like and where they've been. And to be that young, like I think it'll be really cool to see how the trajectory of her career.
Yep. I think next, upcoming senior international window and Casey Stoney selecting rosters, I would be amazed if Kaylee Hunter's name isn't there.
Yeah. I agree.
Same.
Yep. Was there anything else that you wonderful gals, wanted to add to that? Because I kind of gave the roundup of the scores, and then week 18. So we've got Ottawa, Toronto. That is, Wednesday's matchup. And then Montreal, Ottawa again on the Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. That is the match that we are on. And then, and then Calgary, Halifax, and then Toronto, Vancouver on the Sunday.
It's a busy week.
Yep. Lots of matches coming your way. So keep an eye out and look for these mugs, the three of us, Amy, Sigs, and Shireen, to be on CBC on Saturday with the lovely Andy Petrillo.
Every time we get an email and the name Andrea is in it, I'm like, who's Andrea? And then I have to click on the name. Like, I'm like, who is it? It's spelled the Italian way. And I'm like, who is this? Oh, Andy. Andy.
That's why her book is called Call Me Andy.
Andy.
Yeah. Amazing.
Oh, but Sig, you were going to say something about, let's get into Tides Rise. What were you going to say about Tides Rise?
Okay. First of all, 4,100 fans, Wanderers grounds. I think they've been consistently drawing 4,000 to their matches. Oh, there you go. We are Haligonians, people. We're not biased, but we are Haligonians. Shireen and I. And by proxy, Amy is too.
And true. And also, this was the first thing. I actually ran into Marinette. I was at the tennis thing in Montreal. Wow, that was amazing to watch Vicky in the semis. And I saw Marinette, and I told her, I was like, la première chose que j'ai acheté, c'était comme ça un foulard because I'm scared of Amy Walsh. I'm like, the first thing merch I bought was the scarf because I'm scared of Amy Walsh. That's like my line.
And was she confused, or did she just laugh?
No, she just laughed. She's like, that tracks. And I was like, yeah.
That's correct.
I was going to say about the Halifax Vancouver game, obviously, 0-0 after losing 6-0 in their previous meeting. Halifax was coming off, I think they were on one of those stretches of playing 4 matches in 12 days or something like that. And it showed. They just had no legs. But they picked up a new midfielder sort of in that attacking midfield role, Cedeno, who's has some U.S. youth national experience, Panamanian born. Showed a little bit of that, I think, flair in the midfield that they're needing. I do feel really, I was never a striker, so I don't know what this feels like, but I think sometimes strikers can get in their own heads. And I feel like Millie Clegg, like snake bitten's the word, right, Amy? Like she just
which should be said on our dark web and our WhatsApp chat. That's what you use, and I fully stole it and used it here in the broadcast. So full credit to you, Sigs.
What is mine is yours. I feel bad because I think that as soon as she gets that first goal, it's going to open. But We lost Shireen.
Okay.
I'm like, she was like, she disagreed with me about
We're batting 1,000 today on the broadcast. We're just dropping like flies.
But I feel like as soon as she gets that first goal, and maybe it's an ugly goal, it doesn't have to be one of those glory goals. Like,
Yeah,
I think it's going to open for her. And if it does, that's what, the Tides need. That they need some goal scoring. I think they've improved, obviously the transfer window has improved them a lot. Whether it's enough to challenge for top 4 in the league, we'll have to see. There's still time, obviously, in the season. So, but 10 or 11 games left to try and climb up the standings. We'll see. But I'm in her corner. I kind of, when you see the look in her eyes after she missed that chance, you just felt for her.
Yeah. And you also knew in watching that game after she'd missed that initial sitter in like the 82nd minute, and then it popped back out to her on a transitional attack over to her, and she decided to tee it up first time and not take a touch when she had time to take a touch. Like, not only did you know that it was going to find her when she's not feeling confident, like you knew that just like the soccer gods were going to make sure that it ended up on her foot. And I also could have made a bet that it was going to sail over the bar, or, it wasn't going to go her way. So yeah, you do feel for, and our friend Shireen is back. Just as we
kicked me out. I'm
I
like,
was like,
fine.
You don't agree with me about Millie Cliff feeling bad?
No, I totally do. I was like, maybe the broadcasting people are like journalism police, or like, you can't wear a Tides hat in the broadcast
and kick you out.
Kick me out. No, it was no, I was listening actively, and I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? Anyways, no, but I also think that's the first time I will say I heard snake bitten as a reference in soccer. I'd never heard it before.
Oh, yeah. I feel like there's again, I'm not a striker, but I just feel like that's a good way to describe someone who's just capable, but is just for whatever reason bounces mental, just that little, I don't know. But
it's a good way. It's a good expression. I like
it. I wonder if getting a dirty goal, would help. If Millie Clegg just gets one, just pokes one in the back of the net, doesn't need to.
A garbage goal, as it were.
Garbage
goal. My coach in high school used to say, and my club team was like, for every 8 to 10 shots, you get a garbage goal, just do it. And he goes, listen, when we reflect back on the scoreline, no one's gonna ask what the play-by-play was in that moment. So I'm obviously, speaking as forward, I'm not averse to a little bit of garbage sometimes.
Yep. And I think in terms of the Tides and where things are going, acquisitions, transfer windows, players they've picked up, they're the necessary pieces. It's now about how they all fit together, because they're generating the chances, which they were not doing for a long time. And now it's about converting and being opportunistic. And I think that will come. I really do.
I think too. Sorry, go ahead, Sig.
No, I was just going to say that some of those new acquisitions has allowed them to have more depth off the bench too. And I think they can interchange. It doesn't always have to be like, they have interchanged off the bench. Like Miller was seeing 90 minutes of time. Now she came off the bench.
Yeah. Kennedy before that.
Same thing. And they're capable of starting, but they can also come off the bench. So I think that allows them a lot of flexibility.
Yep.
Yeah. And part of the interesting thing about Tides is that the movement is part of that momentum. Like, there needs to be that movement and that excitement and that energy moving. We talked about teams moving people around. They're still trying to find it. I think that maybe this will sort of be the bump that they need to get, moving along in a direction that they want, that they had sort of not been able to do thus far. I mean, there've been wins and there've been really good moments. I was really surprised I didn't watch that match right away. I didn't watch it live, but I was pleasantly surprised to see a 0-0 scoreline, because I didn't expect it initially. And sometimes a clean sheet it can be considered a win. Like, it's not a loss, right? So it's
for sure.
Yeah. So, and like Lig said, just like Sig said, particularly after the last matchup, it was, it's an improvement. So,
yep. Back-to-back matches where you're able to get something out of it, right? In the way of points and kind of chip away at that gap and maybe get yourself out of that basement.
And Amy, like I look at the, now the schedule, some teams have 10 games remaining, some have 11 remaining. And the table and how it stands right now. And are we going to see, like, are we going to see changes? Maybe not at the tippity top, but like, I don't know. Like, I wonder where I kind of feel like there's a lot to be decided still over 10 games. Like, I don't think anything is really written in stone. Like, I don't know whether you have your trusty standings thing, but I can, but
No,
Toronto.
I told you I was not well prepared today.
No.
I don't have the graphic.
Yeah. But like Toronto just ahead of Montreal, Ottawa just below them.
8 points ahead now.
Yeah. But just that, I don't think anything's decided from. There you go. See, Shireen? There you go.
Yes, Shireen. Well done. Yeah. So Toronto's at 31, Montreal's at 25, and then Halifax is on 12.
Yeah. And Calgary's at 17.
Yeah.
Can I just get a cookie or a bag of chips rather? For a second time, I fixed a technical issue in this program today.
I appreciate your technical prowess.
Because I have none. So this is a big win for me.
So if we were to reward you then, what would it be? Would it be a bag of chips or would it be a chocolate bar or a cookie?
No, 100% salt and vinegar kettle cooked chips right now.
Oh
I go into Longo's grocery store when I want to feel rich. So I go in there when I'm like, oh yeah. So they have their own brand of kettle cooked chips that are absolutely delicious and they're $2.99. I should get paid by the Weston.
Yes.
Oh my God, the Weston family should literally sponsor the broadcast.
They really should.
And they have their own sparkling water Sig. So we could drink that. I'll draft a letter.
Instead of using this other brand that I'm going the front of.
Yes. And be like, although I don't know if it would be beneficial for the broadcast listeners to have me eating chips during the show.
Make it realistic.
I know. We fixed one audio issue and added another.
No, really, it's an ASMR podcast now.
These chips are so delicious.
Or what they do. The long fingernails.
Yes. Yeah, like the influencers with their products.
Yeah.
Look at my Cetaphil that I wash my face with. I'd be like the most boring Insta influencer ever.
No, listen, Liv Scott gave us some great ideas. We could do Depends and electrolytes and Boost. We could drink
compression socks. From now on, this podcast will be audio only. Okay, friends, I have to go. I have kids to pick up, but as always, just a treat to get to chat football with you guys. And thank you so much to Liv Scott and to Corinne. Is that how you say her name? Corinne from the Ottawa Rapid, their comms person, for facilitating that and allowing Liv to hop on with us. What a treat. And anybody else who wants to come on to the broadcast, reach out. Happy to have you on and help broaden your horizons. Both for Shireen, for Signa, for me, Amy Walsh. Cheers for watching and listening. Thanks for listening.
Okay, let me take my picture.